Hello. So, another sunny day in Gothenburg, and now I am trying out a new microphone. So maybe this will actually improve the quality a little bit of at least the audio in my little videos that I make. We'll see. And if this works out, I will upgrade this little... Well, rather I will try to make a few more videos because usually I just do these in the mornings because frankly it gets very noisy in the city when you're making these videos as I walk along the streets. And if this works, I'll be able to produce even more amazing pointless videos where I jabber on about this stuff. So that's gonna be fun, right? Okay, let's move on. So today I am going to talk to you about Java versus Node and the pros and the cons of choosing either platform, or rather how I, who have been working with both of them for a few years, my findings in working with each of them. So let's start off by talking about the stuff that I really like about both. And in Java, one of my absolute favorite things, apart from it being my first professional language, the language which I actually started my career in. Well, I did technically start with PHP, but my education was all based around Java, and so it has a lot of nostalgia for me. I don't know. It's like my first car, right? It's the same type of thing. It wasn't the best car in the world. It's never going to be the best car in the world, but it still holds such, emotional value. And Java is the same way. It's not the best language. It will never be the best language, but I still love it. And my favorite thing about Java is that when you have everything working, and trust me, that takes, for at least even for me still, when the environment is set up, like with Eclipse or something like that, you have one of the smoothest, most beautiful development experiences there is. There is nothing wrong with still using Eclipse. And when you have the short command keys and all that, Java just flows. It's so easy to work with. It's such a simple and well-made language. I really like it. There are absolutely things that are wrong with it, but on the whole, I just have to say I really, really like working in Java. Now, the problems that come with working in Java are actually not so much with, it comes with object-oriented programming, and you can take it for what it is. But that's at least what I feel about it. I really like it. It's very beginner-friendly, and that's why it's such a strong choice for beginners. So then we have Node. And Node, being, JavaScript and all that good stuff, it's my go-to. I'm gonna be honest, if you ask me to build you something, I'm most likely gonna build it in Node because nothing is quicker. You have a web server up and running in I can even clock myself now. It takes less than 2 minutes to build a web server and start producing value. You get up and running so quickly. There are so many packages, and since it's all JavaScript, the value is immense. Now, if you like Java being the stable choice of the two, Node being definitely the quickest. There is, in my opinion right now, no platform that you can move as fast as with Node. It's great for prototyping. Best part about it is that you have JavaScript. If you're making a web application, you have it on the server and you have it on the client. So and I actually believe that's why Node is getting so popular, because there are so many strong reasons for why you should standardize on it. There are absolutely exceptions though. So when you're comparing these two languages, I think that the fundamental thing to remember here is the intention of the application that you are building. If you are a small startup starting out trying to build a prototype, or you're trying to build a web application or something like that, where the intent of your product doesn't necessarily require it's a very generic thing. It doesn't have any type of complex mathematics or anything like that. If you're just going for speed and being able to basically hire people who can get productive very quickly, and even getting really junior people to come in and like kind of just pick up and start working, the Node is a really strong choice because it's so popular, it's so massive. The community is like probably the biggest there is right now, at least. So there are a lot of benefits. The downside is that if you're trying to build something which is it's the sort of product that really isn't all that modern and hip, and this now some of you are going to tell me that there are modern and hip Java products, and I will challenge that, at least as a little bit, not much, but a little bit. The reason why I challenge this is because every single time anybody all the recruiters have ever talked to me, even the ones who are trying to tell me that they're working for a hip, cool company or whatever, they will still give you a very specific type of domain, or rather, in my experience, usually the people who base their applications around Java are usually people who are working in a field with a product that is more geared towards how less sexy, more robust systems. Like the banking world likes Java. Volvo, like the automotive industry, also likes Java. Not the demos and the expos, but the actual running of the system. And that's because of the stability, the long-term support, and the legacy, and the all the good stuff that Java brought to the table for so many years have given it this really strong position when it comes to building things that big companies trust. And that's the best part. That's the thing that Node has no chance of beating right now. It's trying to get there with companies such as Uber and so forth, and Netflix, and like the startup, the younger, cooler companies are using Node right now. So Node is kind of trying to become this, or rather it is the trendy choice to make, and the benefits are there. So I mean, even from a marketing perspective, if you have a company, if you manage to start up your own company and you're going to hire people, trust me, you are going to have an easier time selling Node as the choice of languages when it comes to hiring programmers than you're going to have with Java. There's going to be a lot of people who know Java, but they're scarce because most of the Java developers in this world are getting scooped up by these massive corporations because they have so much time and money invested in platforms that are built using Java, right? So ergo, they tend to offer higher salaries and try to scoop people up as quickly as possible. So for smaller companies, it's usually a better bet to go with a platform or a more modern solution because it's an easier sell when it comes to hiring. Now, this is a secondary thing, of course. You should focus on your business and your product first and foremost. So this is what I'm going to tell you. If you have to pick between Node and Java, you really have to know what your business is about. To me, it's a business decision. It has very little to do with technology. If you want to be modern, trendy, and move really fast with the downsides that come with that, because there are downsides, trust me, there are downsides, then you go with Node. If you have a product idea that is geared towards building something for really big companies, maybe you're working directly towards having a partnership with a very specific company like a bank or something like, as I said, like the automotive industry, like their big systems, then it's Java, because Java is stable enough and trusted enough and most likely going to be compliant with whatever they're doing on their end, that it's a much safer bet. Now, you can still do it in Node, but in general, I think that's it's a stronger choice. And you can go with C# on this as well. Like, to me, C# and Java it's fairly interchangeable, but the discussion is about Java. So to summarize, Node, being the hip and trendy choice, is probably the way you want to go if you're just starting out building your own prototype or, small time stuff. And you can of course scale it up. And if you're trying to make something that is geared towards building a stable, robust super system that is going to run for like 1,000,000 years, then Java is probably the choice for you.